Welcome. The story takes place in Osaka, Japan, and follows 22-year-old Tsuneo Suzukawa, a university student studying marine biology. Tsuneo works at a diving shop with co-workers Mai and Hayato. On the way home, a young woman in a wheelchair speeds towards him. Being on a hill, she is not able to stop. She flies from the wheelchair and crashes into Tsuneo. An elderly woman, the girl's grandmother, comes over to see if the girl, named Kumiko Yamamura, is all right. Tsuneo learns from her that Kumiko was pushed from the hill by someone. Kumiko is quite blunt and not afraid of throwing out insults. Unsurprisingly, Tsuneo and Kumiko don't exactly get along. They arrive at Kumiko and grandmother's house, and Tsuneo is invited in by grandmother. Kumiko acts coldly toward him and wants to be referred to as Josee. Tsuneo eats the dinner that grandmother prepares for him. She tells him that he sounds poor, and he tells her that he is a student and rents an apartment nearby. Josee doesn't care. As he is about to leave, grandmother asks if Tsuneo is interested in making money. Tsuneo's boss at the diving shop says that he might hire him full-time when he graduates. Tsuneo tells him he's thinking about studying abroad, in Mexico, after graduating. Mai overhears them. She is interested in Tsuneo's future. Grandmother tells Tsuneo his job will be in the house and that he will do whatever Josee says. There's only one rule: don't take her out on her own. Josee ignores him at first, then goes into her room and tells him to kneel for a few hours. Over the month, Josee gives him odd and mundane jobs. Tsuneo's professor says he submitted Tsuneo's essay to Mexico City University and that he can study there. Tsuneo is ecstatic. He goes home and looks at a poster of fish by his bed, titled Clarion Angel. In the next moment, the world becomes submerged in water, and Josee swims out of her house with a mermaid-like tail. To the backdrop of an emotional orchestral piece, Josee glides along the beautiful ocean landscape alongside aquatic life forms, such as whales and dolphins. Grandmother turns off the CD player and Josee awakes from her dream. Josee asks her if they could go on their walks again, to which grandmother adamantly says no, because Josee wouldn't be able to protect herself. It is a room filled with color and imagination. He hears grandmother screaming and she worriedly tells him that Josee is missing. Josee rolls her wheelchair toward an incoming train and is pulled back by Tsuneo. She tells him to take her to the ocean, otherwise she will get him fired. He decides to abide by her wish. He takes her to the rail station and tells grandmother that he found her. Josee has trouble paying for the ticket and is met with disdain from people passing by. He asks her if they are still going to the ocean or not, and she decides to go. The two travel together on train, and Josee is delighted by the view of the outside world. Tsuneo wonders about Josee's perspective of the world based on the artwork in her room. He says that he wants to see an ocean like the one in Josee's room. Josee decides that from that day, Tsuneo will be her servant. The two arrive at the ocean. It feels like a dream to Josee. She falls from her wheelchair and crawls toward the water. She says that her dad once asked her, "How does the sea taste?" and that he would take her to the ocean as a child, but the waves were too scary to approach. He died without telling her the answer. Josee wants to confirm for herself because it might be her one and only chance. Tsuneo picks her up and walks into the ocean spray, and Josee tastes the salt of the sea. The two share a wonderful moment together in the water. Tsuneo gets scolded by grandmother when they arrive home. Josee is amazed by the fact that Tsuneo has dove underwater before. The two begin sneaking out into the city during grandmother's nap time. The two go to a paint shop together and ride a Ferris wheel. Tsuneo and Josee's interactions surprises grandmother, and the two continue to spend time together. They go to an aquarium and Tsuneo demonstrates his extensive knowledge of marine biology. Tsuneo and Josee browse through a sea of books. Josee is enamored and shows Tsuneo a series of books by Françoise Sagan, whose main character's name is Josee. Josee nervously goes to borrow books, and the librarian Kana becomes friends with Josee through their shared interest in Sagan's works. Josee tells Tsuneo she's 24 years old. They go together to Tsuneo's diving shop. Josee meets Hayato and Mai pleasantly greets her, saying that Tsuneo has told her a lot about Josee. Josee looks away and doesn't respond. As Mai and Tsuneo converse, Josee tells him that she wants to go home. She wheels away and Tsuneo runs after her. Agitated, Josee tells him she doesn't like his workplace. The two argue, and Josee wheels away on her own. The next day, grandmother tells Tsuneo that he no longer needs to come. Tsuneo receives a scholarship to study abroad for him to go in March of next year. Josee visits the library by herself. She complains about how Tsuneo flirts with girls, and Kana laughs at how Josee is so obvious. Josee is invited to read for a group of kids. She's nervous and uncertain of herself, and speeds through The Little Mermaid, barely taking a breath. She looks up and only one child is still listening to her story. Josee draws her a beautiful rendition of the mermaid's palace, and Kana, amazed, tells her she should make a collection of her artwork and publish them. Josee says it's impossible. Tsuneo surprises Josee by coming in without permission. He shows her a fish lamp giving off a warm glow. The fish is a clarion angel, a rare species found only in Mexico. Tsuneo fell in love with the fish as a kid. He would look at it every day after school. He tells Josee about his family. His parents are divorced. His father left home, and his mother is always busy with work. Tsuneo has always dreamed of seeing the clarion angel swimming in a school, which is why he studies so hard and saved a lot of money. Josee says it's a nice dream and hopes it comes true. The two go to see a tiger at the zoo. Josee wants to face her fears, with her servant there. That way, she could hold on to him if she got scared. She tells him about reading to the children. Josee says she wants to give a shot at drawing professionally. Grandmother passes away. She gave Josee enough money to live by, but Josee can't afford to pay Tsuneo's wages. Social workers arrive at Josee's home and ask what she plans to do going forward. She replies that she wants to draw, and the worker harshly reprimands her for not being realistic. Mai and Hayato go to see Josee. Mai begs her to free Tsuneo. She tells her that he's been working hard and saving up for his dream to study abroad in Mexico next March. Josee doesn't know about this. Josee questions why Mai is asking her for permission. Mai says that Tsuneo only visits her out of sympathy. Tsuneo goes over and finds that Josee has removed all of her drawings. She tells him that she wants to go to the ocean. It will be Tsuneo's last job as her servant. Tsuneo tells her he doesn't need the money anymore, for her to not call this the last job. She tells him she's no longer Josee and that she's taken an office job. She says her art dream was out of her reach, that everything is out of her reach. She says she doesn't want to reach anymore, and Tsuneo urges her to not give up the things she loves. She says that he wouldn't understand. The sky darkens and it begins to rain. Josee's wheelchair gets stuck on the road in the middle of a crosswalk. An incoming car swerves out of control and hits Tsuneo, who jumped into its path to protect Josee. He tumbles through the air and lies motionlessly on the road. Josee desperately cries out to him. Tsuneo wakes up in the hospital attached to a ventilator. The doctor tells him that his shin was fractured. It would take 2 months to recover, and there is a chance that he wouldn't be able to walk or run as before. Josee goes to see Tsuneo, and he tells her that he might not be able to walk again. Tsuneo's professor tells him to focus for now on getting better, that he will get another chance to go abroad. Tsuneo tells him that there is a chance he wouldn't be able to dive again, and he would lose his reason for going abroad. Mai and Hayato hears him. Mai comes to visit Tsuneo. He answers her in one-word answers. Mai notices Tsuneo's Spanish book in the trash bin. She takes him out for a walk and tells him that she's there to give him support. He says that studying abroad doesn't matter anymore. Mai confesses her love to him. Mai angrily knocks at Josee's door. Mai tells her that Tsuneo gave up. She declares that she is going to make Tsuneo hers and give Tsuneo the love he needs to forget the sea. She was praying that he would give up his silly dream and stay by her. Mai says she knows Tsuneo much better than Josee does. Josee suddenly opens the door and asserts that her servant will never give up, that he will never forget about fish or abandon his dream. Although she doesn't know Tsuneo as well as Mai does, her feelings are much stronger. Josee begins to work on an art project, while Tsuneo continues his rehab. Hayato convinces Tsuneo to go to the library. There, Tsuneo sees Josee in front of a group of children. When Josee sees him, She begins reading her story about a mermaid. A sea of clapping resounds as Josee speaks her final word, and Tsuneo looks at her with tears in his eyes. In the coming days, Tsuneo is invigorated and works hard on his rehab, with Hayato and Josee watching over him. Mai comes to visit as well. They see Tsuneo take his first steps and are delighted. Tsuneo is finally leaving the hospital. He tells Josee he's going to Mexico no matter what. He waits for Josee to pick him up, but after not seeing her, takes a taxi to her home. He finds it deserted. In her room, he finds boxes containing Josee's belongings, including the gift he gave her. He asks everyone if they had seen Josee, and they worriedly search for her. Josee meets the gaze of the tiger at the zoo, and Tsuneo finds her tracks in the snow. The tracks disappear, and Tsuneo loses his lead. A man runs into Josee, and she slides down an icy hill at an immense speed. She flies out of her wheelchair into the arms of Tsuneo. Josee tells Tsuneo that she's going to try to become a picture book illustrator. She plans to stand for herself, as Tsuneo pushed her from behind long enough. Tsuneo confesses his love to Josee. She tells him she loves him too. If you liked this recap, consider supporting the channel with a like and subscribe.